My fellow Americans, the revolution is upon us. It's led by nerdy outcasts on Reddit and funded by chicken tendies. Let's talk about the GameStop stock situation. If you didn't already know that Wall Street and the stock market was bullshit and being manipulated by people with their own agenda, well, this past week has made that abundantly clear. You see, the only difference between this past week and any other normal week on Wall Street is that the people pulling the strings aren't billionaire fat cats, but instead the average Joe. Thanks to social media, particularly Reddit, and the subreddit Wall Street Bets, as well as the app Robinhood, which makes it easier than ever for people to trade. We don't love Robinhood, we'll get back to that. Millennials have gotten into the market in a big way, and not always for the better. This subreddit has turned the stock market into their own personal casino. Watch the subreddit's founder, James Rogozinski, describe the inspiration for his creation.
My intention when I first started Wall Street Bets, I literally was trying to get myself familiarized with high risk, high return trading potential, playing with stock options specifically. And there was just an absence in the market for a community that could discuss these things, and they could learn, and they could create a community out of it. Did I expect it to turn into this? Absolutely not. I think it's gone well past anything I could have ever imagined. It's quite impressive.
Whereas many traders prefer the long game, buying stocks they believe in and hoping that they'll increase in value so that they can one day sell them for a profit, Wall Street Bets is all about moving their money as fast as possible. Just scrolling through the sub, you can see people posting about their insane gains right next to people admitting that they YOLO'd their life savings. If Wall Street is a posh country club, Wall Street Bets is that seedy nightclub that you and your friends go to on a whim. It's equal parts fucked up and exhilarating. So now that we know what Wall Street Bets is, let's find out why it's propping up GameStop, a company best known for buying your used games for 1/300th of the initial price, then turning around and listing those same games for $20 off retail, and also for forcing their employees to work during a pandemic under the guise of them being in essential business. That's right, I haven't forgotten. What, is someone going to die if they don't get immediate access to a scratched up copy of Catherine Full Body? I digress. This isn't about GameStop the company. It's about how people are using GameStop's stock to send a message. That message being that if you're a rich firm owner like, say Andrew Left of Citron Research, and you publicly announce that you're shorting a stock like GameStop that is beloved as a meme by Wall Street Bets, you can lose billions of dollars in a single day. But Andrew would never do that, right?
This is a failing mall-based retailer. So the amount of people who are so passionate about putting GameStop higher, not based on any fundamentals, it just shows the natural state of the market right now. Or as Seth Klarman said today, a bunch of frogs in a pot of boiling water.
Oh, well then. So what is shorting? You see, shorting is actually, this needs more sex appeal. Think like The Big Short, the prequel to the movie that's going to be based off the past few days. Shorting is when you bet a stock is going to lose its value. Say you thought Wicked Good stock was going to go down to selling for $50 a share when it's currently selling for $100. So you go to borrow 100 stocks from a brokerage and sell those for $10,000 with the agreement that you'll give them back after a certain period of time. Or if the stock surges to $200, you must return them. So if things go well for you, the price drops to $50 a share, you purchase those 100 shares back again, though this time you only spent $5,000 to get them. So you pocket the other $5,000. There are fees and interest, of course, for brokerage, but let's keep this simple. In another scenario, you buy the shares and the stock surges to $200 or more before your bet is set to expire. You have to buy those 100 shares back from the market and return them, and that costs you $10,000 out of pocket. You can see how quickly this can get out of hand and how there's literally no limit to your risk. Thank you. But what's most important here is that Wicked Good stock is going to the fucking moon. So Citron is far from the only big firm shorting the stock. And that's where things get really interesting. While Andrew Left kicked the hornet's nest, these hornets can now smell blood in the water. I'm mixing animal metaphors, but you get the idea. When shorting a stock, you can rinse and repeat by buying more stock with your hypothetical gains. If enough big players do this, more people need to buy back shares to pay off the loans than there are shares available. And this is what happened to GameStop to the tune of about 140% of the total GameStop shares in existence. The people at Wall Street Bets saw this and thought, well, if I buy now and the price gets driven up and held there, these people will be forced by their short contracts to buy at an inflated price eventually, or they're fucked. And so a movement formed, and GameStop's stock surged from $17 at the beginning of January 2021 to, at one point, over $400. The movement spread not just through Wall Street Bets, not even just through Reddit, but the internet at large. Twitter became a major player as celebrities tweeted endorsements, and well, Elon Musk tweeted game stonks, and that increased the price because, again, none of this is real. Normal people pledged their support. This was no longer Wall Street Bets versus Wall Street. This was regular Joe versus evil billionaires. In a time when unemployment was over 6% and billionaires made out like robber barons, adding $931 billion to their net worth, ridiculous number, it was the epitome of the people versus them, the rich, and for a brief moment it really felt like we got one over on the rich. It wasn't until they started fighting back. Bots were sent to Wall Street Bets to try diverting attention away from GameStop into other stocks. Other bots, or maybe people pretending to be bots, and certainly pretending to be Wall Street Bet members, posted anti-Semitic rants that were ignored by the regular members of the subreddit, but accepted at face value by people on Twitter. Their Discord was banned due to hateful content, and while I have no doubt some content on that was hateful, but that's for sure not the reason it was banned, or else Discord would have to ban every server. It should be noted that after the backlash, Discord has reinstated Wall Street Bets, and they're going to help them moderate. Media stooges presented stories about the harm this type of trading could do, and floated conspiracy theories about foreign countries being behind it.
That's always been your problem. I could argue, I don't even know if there are foreign powers at work here behind the scenes trying to make chaos of our market.
Apps like Robinhood, E-Trade, and others suspended trading on GameStop and AMC, which was another highly shorted stock. It was clear that we were playing a fully rigged game, one that could have the rules changed on a whim. The worst part about Robinhood doing this was their apology, which they sent users after the market closed. Here in part, "Hi, it's been a tough day. I want to really grateful for you being a Robinhood customer. Oh, was it a tough day? Was screwing over your user base and making your daddy happy, was that a bit of a bother? You know what? You don't deserve to have this read in its entirety because there's really only one interesting part. The rest of it's just fluff and vague speech." But they made sure to note this, quote, "To be clear, the decision was not made on the direction of any market maker we route to or other market participants. But considering that one of their biggest backers, Citadel Securities, recently helped bail out Melvin Capital, who was heavily affected by the GameStop shorting situation, most people are obviously not buying it." You see, this action caused shares to go down and for 2 class action lawsuits to be filed immediately. Robinhood was review bombed on the Google App Store all the way down to 1 star, before Google stepped in and deleted those reviews, for sure living up to their old creed of don't be evil. What do AOC and Dave Portnoy have in common? Probably not much, but they even both tweeted about how messed up it was for Robinhood to do this, as did Ted Cruz. He was promptly owned for helping incite the Capitol riot where 5 people died. We didn't forget Theodore. Yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago, which in 2021 time is like 10 years, but fuck you. Anyways, this issue is truly bringing everyone together, except for Ted Cruz. Because again, fuck him. Everybody has a dream that one day they will be successful, or rich, or hell, even just financially stable. This was seen as a way to do it, playing by Wall Street's rules to fuck them over. However, big business wouldn't have that. This serves as an example for all the capitalism simps out there, the temporarily embarrassed millionaires, if you will, that actual rich people have no interest in giving you a seat at the table. They will use every dirty trick to prevent you from climbing. Undoubtedly, many firms closed out their calls at the point when the market was manipulated and prices were driven down. They did this to avoid further losses, but others doubled down. So now it's really become personal for the internet, and they are fully invested. It's no longer about money, but revenge against a system many believed is rigged. And recent actions have only reinforced that notion. Do I think anything's going to happen to these firms that are shorting stocks beyond the amount of stocks in existence? Probably not. Do I think the government's going to step in and make it harder for the average person to trade and then bail out those firms and probably get them the money before they get us the rest of the stimulus they promised? Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. Wish I had a funny thing to end this video on. It is funny that they're fucking over billionaires, but how permanent is that going to be? We shall see. If you're looking for something more fun, check out our latest Itch.io show, our latest sketch, and we will see you in the next one.